Hello everybody, it is Nicole with A-Frayed-Knot. Just hopping on to do a little bit of crafting with you tonight. And tonight we're actually going to be making the Ladybug Door hanger. So this was the April monthly kit. So if you did not get one of these, there are only 4 left. I checked before I hopped on, so we have 4 left. So we're going to go ahead and make it tonight. So say hey, let me know when you are here. Happy Good Friday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope your day went good and you're having a fantastic night, I should say, because it is now nighttime for most of you. It's evening here, so I'm looking to get these comments going, and then I'm going to show you these pieces that I have here. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Okay, there's our live. Awesome. So I see y'all hopping on. Hi, Vicky. Hello. Hey, Tabitha. I hope you're having a good Friday too. Hello, Leon. So, well, I see more comments over here. Hi, Trula. Hey, Ellen and Tony. Hey, Teresa and Lee. How's everybody doing? Oh, thank you, Joanne. Good. I'm glad you're loving them. Thank you so much. I actually, this year, so a couple years ago, I went to, I was in Texas and visiting my friend, and we stopped in Groom, Texas on our way to the big cross over there. I've talked about it before, but I did a handful of posts I think I started on Sunday, actually. I did a post on Sunday, and then I thought I did one during the week sometime, but then I did one, I did several today. So, yeah, I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed reading. You know, this week I did a lot of reading in Matthew, actually, this week. So, yeah, just about Holy Week, and it's been good. So, oh, awesome. Vicky just got hers today. Yay. They went out, I think, Tuesday. So if you ordered one of these and you haven't got it yet, it is on its way. Hey, Agatha. Hello. Hey, Becky. Hi, Tammy and Patty. So how's everybody today? Hello, Penny. It is cold here, Teresa. Well, I've got to, it's cold for me. I want to say, I think it's probably, right now, it's probably like 60, which I know that's probably amazing for most of you, but yeah, it is. I ended up, well, I went for a walk a little bit ago, so I decided to put on a sweatshirt and a jacket and bundle up a little bit because it is cold. But that's funny because it's cold to me, but this is probably a really nice temperature for a lot of people. Oh, awesome, Tammy. You will have to post a picture of that on Monday in the Made by Me Monday post. Good evening, Donna. Hey, Geneva. Okay, so in this Ladybug monthly kit, this is a door hanger that we're going to be making. So what you are going to get is the round. I went blank for a second because I was thinking of too many things at once. So you'll get the wood round. The Ladybug's body, so that's her body, and then it's got pre-drilled holes right here for the antennas. And then this looks like Pac-Man. Doesn't this look like Pac-Man? But this is actually her wings. So they're going to fit on her body like this. And then you have got your packet here that has the template for the word hi. And so we're going to put that, we're going to trace that on and then paint it. And then you're going to have, these are hard to see, but it's 2 wires for her antennas, and then some rope for the hanger. Oh, I didn't grab something for this. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and then you're going to have 2 half beads. You see those right there? I'm going to leave them in there because I don't want to lose this stuff while we're painting. Okay, so you're going to have those beads. You've got your little template. And then you're also going to have these daisies, those are daisies that are traced on the back of some corrugated scrapbook paper. So we're ultimately going to be cutting those out. So that's the first thing we're going to do, because we're going to want to paint those as well. So let's just start by getting those cut out. So I'm just cutting them, and I'm going to kind of come back here and trim that off a little bit better. Hey, Sherry. Hi, Tina. Hello, Lori. So I've already said that it was, it's been cold here for this past week has been it's gotten colder every day of the week. So I don't know what next week's going to bring, but, how's your guys' weather been? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, Donna just said they got ball-sized hail about 3:30 this morning. Yeah, that's a good thing, no damage. That's big hail. Yeah, that's good you didn't get no damage. Wow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of come in and cut these little V's out. That's going to be easier to cut it like that first. Okay, so what I mean is I'm just going to go in, and where it V's down for each of these flowers, I'm going to just go around and cut those. That's going to make it a little easier to do it that way. Oh, Tina said nice, 80 degrees. That does sound nice. That does sound very nice. I wish it could stay that all summer. That would be wonderful if we had a mild summer. You never know, I guess. All right, so that makes it a little easier to cut the V portions out, and I'll show you what I mean. So like right in these areas right here, to cut those out first. And then we have one daisy, and we'll go ahead and do the other one, and then we will dive in and start painting. And I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So you just basically cut these out however it's easier for you. Oh, awesome, Tammy, good. With the sign that I made with the sunflower. Oh, the fruit of the spirit. Is that the one? I think that's the one you might be saying. So if you guys didn't catch, I popped on live last night for just a short little bit of time. And I still haven't checked this. Did Diane hop on? Diane mentioned that some of the Mother's Day stencils have actually restocked, but I hopped on last night. Oh, good, Tammy. I'm glad you got that one. And that's what I was going to say, is if you didn't see my live last night, the Fruit of the Spirit stencil from Essential Stencil has restocked. And I know a lot of y'all were waiting for that. So it is back in stock. I was so excited when I learned that. Oh my goodness. So excited. As soon as I heard it, I came right back out here because I was with the woodworkers yesterday. We finished up a cute little flower box, and I came right back out here and hopped on live, and I grabbed the sign that I made with that. Gosh, I want to say I made that last summer, and my stencil, and showed everybody. And oh, I was excited. I was so glad because I wasn't sure. Hi, Kathy. She said, storms today. Yes, your kit is on the way. They have been shipped out. And if anybody did not get one of these, and if you want to get one, we only have 4 left. So that's it. 4. And it's not with the paint. Just so you know, there's no more left with the paint. Just 4 kits. Just what you see right here that I just showed you. Okay. Whew. Whew, there's our other daisy. So this one is a little bigger than this one, and I did that purposely. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is kind of lay out how I want to paint this. So I'm gonna put a big black stripe through the middle of it, but I want the word hi, to be inside of that stripe. So the black stripe is going to be a little bit thicker than the stripe up here at the top, but I am going to kind of measure it just to see how I want it to be. And I'm going to measure my original one to see how wide I did this one here. And it was, let's see, 5 and 5/8. So let's see here, about 5 5/8. So I'm just going to kind of put 2 little marks, and then I want to see what they look like from here to here and here to here, just so it looks somewhat centered. Normally I just eyeball it, but that's pretty good. I eyeballed it, and I got about 3 inches right here and about 3 inches right here. So I'll have to say, that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. So then what I want to do is, so I measured the center first is what I did. But I'm about, just to kind of cut to the chase for you, it'll make it a little bit easier. I'm about 3 inches from the top down, and then from the bottom up, it's just roughly another 3. It's almost right on the money, 3 inches. So from the top down, 3 inches, and then from the bottom up, 3 inches. Make a little mark, and then we're going to just kind of come across with a line. Now we've got you're going to have 2 pre-drilled holes right here. That's so we can put the nautical rope through it for a hanger. So what I want to do is kind of stay straight with those. So you want to make sure these lines, you know, your holes up here and this and everything's kind of symmetrical. And then I'm just going to sort of go across. Well, I didn't do that very well, so let me start over. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I'm just going to kind of put a light pencil mark right there. And then same right here. Just kind of a light pencil mark. And then what I want to make sure is that my word hi, yep, it sure does. I want it to fit inside of this whole section right here. We're going to paint this in the color Midnight. So that, and then the top and the bottom, we're going to paint in the color Cotton. And so let's go ahead and paint our cotton first right here. So I'm just going to brush on a coat of cotton. I'm not going to apply it real heavy because I'm going to come back and sand it and get it kind of good and distressed looking. So I'm not going to do it real heavy. Hi, Teresa. Hey, Shannon. Hi, Jeanette. Hello, Elizabeth. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, I'll use this one for the, no, hold on. I'll use this one for the cotton. Okay, so for the cotton, I'm just going to go ahead and start applying around the sides first. And I'm just going to work on the top part first, and then we'll go ahead and do the surface. Let's go ahead and get the bottom. Laura. Hello, hello. Hi, Barb. Oh, thank you, Tabitha. I'm glad you're loving it. This one is fun. So what do you guys have planned for this weekend? What do y'all do on Easter Sunday? Do you guys go to church and then spend the time with your family? Do you go to dinner? Do you guys fix dinner? Do you do breakfast? What are your plans? Okay, let's see here. So I've got a very light pencil mark right here, and I'm just kind of I'm just really following that, using that as a guide and just going across. Church, then family lunch, Tina said. That sounds very nice. Oh, Chappie, maybe, hi, Jody. I might make some cookies. I'm not real sure. I asked my mom, you know, and she wasn't sure yet, so. I mean, there's this pie that we really like. I could go pick up the pie. I love this. We get this pie. I've told you guys about it before. We have this restaurant called Corky's, and they make what is called a Snicker bar pie. And I promise you, if we ever do a live event, that will be one of our desserts, because there's certain things I've thought through different things for a live event for A-Frayed-Knot if we ever do that. There's different things I've already thought of that, you know, you guys just have to try. So the only way to do that is if we have a live event and I catered that kind of food. So Jeanette said they will go to church, then breakfast. Other than that, Ava works and all the boys already have plans. And you'll get work done around the house. That's kind of, Jeanette, actually, believe it or not, that's kind of like my outtake on it nowadays also. I will definitely be with doing the church service, and then, you know, maybe dinner with the family if we decide to do that. But I think Cameron, I thought she's going out of town, and I didn't think they were going to be back until Sunday, but I'm not real sure, honestly. You know, once they start growing up, things start changing. So I just figured, well, you know, I can just enjoy the day here, and, you know, it's all good. So I'm good either way. Oh, Red Lobster. You guys are going to church and then Red Lobster. That's awesome. I love that. Fun little fact. I used to, years ago, I was probably, I don't know, maybe 16 or 17. I used to work at Red Lobster as a hostess. And I don't like seafood. I'll just say I'm not a seafood eater at all. So first of all, that's strange, but I worked at Red Lobster, and I'm going to tell you, I don't have many jobs that I've disliked, but that one, I disliked that job. I did not like that job at all. And it had nothing to do with like the seafood part of it, but that's a rough industry. I'll tell you that. I wasn't even a server. I was a hostess, but people are rough in restaurants when they have to wait for very long. I can't even imagine nowadays, but back then, because that was a long time ago. I don't know why I added more paint to that. I did not mean to. So I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to keep adding paint. I am going to go ahead and dry brush some paint onto our daisies. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. But no time for the snow. Oh no. Wait, who is it snowing for? Oh no, Chappie said it's snowing and it's supposed to snow the weekend as well. Going to church and see how the weather is after. Oh, Chappie, I'm so sorry. Laura said it's baseball season, no time for snow. Okay, so I'm just going to take my brush and just dry brush. So these are just the daisies. You can literally paint them any color you would like, but I'm dry brushing the cotton onto them. Probably going to put it on a little bit heavier, but I do like seeing the corrugated color of the cardboard coming through. Yeah, people are wild. I can't even imagine nowadays. Things are just so different nowadays, but back then, and the waits would be so long. And in the area where I worked, there was a movie theater right across the street. So, you know, people want to do like dinner and a movie, and they come in, they don't plan, you know, like you think it's Friday night and nobody's going to be here. And then they would just be mad because it didn't fit, you know, it was the wait was too long. It's like, oh, people were crazy. Yeah, so that was one job. I did not like that job. Oh, and I did have another job. I just didn't stay at this one very long. The one I'm about to tell you. I had a job, again, in my earlier, I was maybe, I don't even think I was 18, but I was a telemarketer. I was not a very good one. I think I might have stayed there 2 days tops. Because, well, people don't like telemarketers, and they have you call, they give you like a, I don't know how it is nowadays, but back then they literally gave you a book and it had like a little prefix and then all these numbers, and you'd have to call people, and it was always in the evening around dinner time, and people didn't appreciate that. So I think I stayed there maybe, if it was 2 days, that was it. I know it wasn't more than 2 days. I think I might have came in the second day to tell them I can't do this anymore. I cannot do, I mean, people would cuss you out. I am not even kidding. Oh, hey, Beth, you did telemarketing too for less than a week. I don't even think I lasted 2 days. People are wild. I can't imagine that nowadays. I don't even, now I think we just call it spam. But I don't have a landline anymore, a house phone. I ended up getting rid of that. But yeah, that's crazy. That was not, so those are the 2 jobs that I recall that I just, no, did not like them at all. Not even a little bit. I forgot to tell you guys, so I am also going to use these little sponge brushes right here. The medium one and the small one. They're the ones that come from the Dollar Tree on the Ladybug. I'm going to use them on the Ladybug. We're getting some midnight. That's what I'm trying to do. Get some midnight out. It's being a little difficult. There we go. And we're going to paint this center and the Ladybug. Barb said she did telemarketing for her dad's business for years. All your friends worked there with you. I feel like, was that a little different? I don't know why I feel like that might have been a little different. Was it? Or were people still rude? Okay, we're going to paint the center in the color Midnight. Okay, so I'm just getting the sides first, and then I'm just going to get the same thing that I did for the top and the bottom with the color cotton. I'm going to do that pretty much for the middle, but it's just going to be in midnight. And then I'm just going to line my line up right next to the cotton color. I might need a different brush for this. I messed this brush up. I haven't been very easy on these, so I think I have one more packet left. I'm going to use this one because I'll tell you what I do when I'm washing them. I need to be a little more gentle because what I did is I ripped all that out accidentally, and so I tried to put it all back and glue it and everything. But I need to trim, I guess, some of the bristles. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Jackie. My mom is on. Hello, Mom. Okay, let's see here. Alrighty, so we got that. And then I'm going to do the same thing right up here at the top, and then we'll go ahead and fill it in with the bigger brush. Oh, the round is, I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see. It's just a little more than 11.5 inches wide. Okay, so I'm just lining it up with the white, with the cotton color. I'm just kind of taking my time. I suppose if you wanted to put some tape there, you could. It's not a bunch of lines that I'm painting, so that's why I just went ahead and just measured it out with the ruler and just did it like this, because there's not a lot of them. There have been times like that bunny door hanger you see right there that we made in the woodworking group. I did tape that one off. You don't see me tape things off too often, but there are certain things I will tape. Okay. That's pretty good. It's not perfect at all, but that's fine. It doesn't need to be. We're just getting the paint on, then we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to distress it a bit. Okay, we're definitely going to need more. And we're going to have to paint the ladybug also. Oh, you could hear the birds, Agatha, yes. So I had, you guys might remember this just from seeing like pictures or videos or when I've gone live and been in the backyard. I had bougainvillea bushes. I have, let me see, I've got at least 3 or 4 of them up on my back hill by the fence. Well, they've been there for at least 20 years. Because when I first moved in here, they were just teeny tiny. They had just been planted. Anyway, they were humongous. And the way they were growing is they were growing back into the fence. And they were destroying my fence, basically. And so my dad's been helping me cut them out. But today we were back there. And it's kind of sad because the birds loved those things. They were always in those bushes, and the bushes were so dense and just entwined, and it was just, I wish I would have taken a picture of what it like actually looked like, because they were just so dense and entwined, and the birds loved it. Well, now they're gone, and there's still a lot of, there's a lemon tree and bushes and all kinds of things back there. The birds are kind of flying around, and there's a few stumps left from the bougainvillea, and they were kind of on it, but you can tell they're like, what happened? And there was one kind of landed on the little flag, garden flag by where we were standing, and he's kind of looking at me, and I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, but we had to cut him out. But yeah, so poor birds, but there's tons of trees and things. My neighbor has several huge trees, and they've still got the lemon tree, so hopefully they'll be okay. I love having the birds around. But yeah, so the ones you're hearing, Agatha, are in, do you remember the Liberty House, the birdhouse that I have on the back porch? That's the first family of this spring is in the Liberty House. So that's what you're hearing. And when you hear them, when you start hearing them really good, it's because the mom or the dad have come in to feed them, and they're just going crazy. So I love watching the birds. I've kind of become a bird person, I guess. I love the birds. My daughter hates the birds. I mean, the ones that don't bother her, but like, okay, if you guys remember the crazy crow, so that's where the name Crazy Crow came from for the paint color. But some of you remember there was actually a crazy crow, and Cameron did not like that bird at all. And some of you probably remember that too. Cameron did not like her whatsoever. But, yeah, but we all, I don't know why I put those brushes in the water. I need one. We all, though, in the family, like my mom and my dad and me and Cameron and Alan, we're all invested in Jackie and Shadow, though, all of us. And it's cute to see that Cameron and Alan are also. Yeah, and I know a lot of you guys are, too. Yes, Tabitha, me too. Love the birds. I know. Agatha, yes, they are. Yep. Hopefully they'll be okay with the lemon tree. Hopefully they'll be okay with the lemon tree and the other bushes and stuff around. Because I gotta take care of the fence. The fence is, it's really out of whack. That's all I can say, out of whack. So Laura, I actually have, yeah, Tina, they're mad at me. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Diane. So I have a fountain in the backyard that they love. So I just recently got that going, because it had been off for a while, but I just, a couple weekends ago, when I pulled weeds and did some work in the backyard, it was a really nice weekend. So I got the fountain going again. I need to get my hummingbird feeders filled again. The good thing is, I do like to fill the hummingbird feeders, but the good thing is that I have so many like bushes and flowers and things like that that the hummingbirds love. So I still have quite a bit of hummingbirds, but it's nice to see them on the feeders because they're a little bit closer that way. But last weekend I was out in the backyard doing some watering, and I had the hose and I was watering some plants, and a hummingbird had come, and I was trying to get my phone out so I could take a video, but then guess he didn't want to be filmed because he flew off. But he was right where the water was coming out of the hose, and he was like right there. And it was like, I was holding the hose, say this is the hose, and he was like right here. It was just really cool. And then that was it. So I I couldn't get a picture of him or anything because I was really just kind of admiring him. And they have no fear. And then when I thought, oh, let me try and get my phone out, it had already been, you know, a couple seconds. So he took off. I've actually heard that too, Trula, that they're very intelligent. And I believe that. My brother-in-law, when I was probably about Cameron's age, my brother-in-law had rescued a crow and kind of nursed him back to life, him or her, whatever it was. And the crow kind of became a pet to him. And I honestly don't remember what happened. I just remember I felt about that crow like Cameron felt about the one here, because the crow always would try to land in my hair, and it just freaked me out back then. So I can kind of understand, you know, how Cameron feels when just out of the blue, you know, you got this bird trying to land on you. It feels like you're getting attacked and it's just trying to be friends. But they're very smart. So my brother-in-law had trained him, you know, in a way to like do certain things. And I can't really remember what it was, but my brother-in-law was good with animals like that. But the one that was next door, that one was also very smart, because I promise you, he would know as soon as I got in here and got busy, and she would just wait, and then she would come like sit on the fence, and then she would come and then sit kind of like at the end of the door, and then she would kind of watch, and then she'd come and try to take like small tools or things like that. She would take stuff too, and you would tell her no, and she knew. So I'm pretty sure they're pretty smart. Oh my goodness, Sherry. Oh, do we have a new friend? Do we have some new friends that I missed? Welcome everybody. If you are new and I missed you saying hello, you're new, I am so sorry, but welcome, welcome. Laura said, I'm sorry, I hate crows. I don't like them when they try to get into the little bird's nests. That's where I'm like, oh gosh, the cycle of life. But oh no, Angie said a crow attacked her and she's not fond of them. I am so sorry. And she said they're mean looking. That would be very scary. They peck the squirrels, Agatha said, and take the nuts away from them. Oh my goodness. Yes, welcome everybody. If you are new and I missed your comment, I am so sorry, but hello and welcome. We're working on I got to make a little space right here for my Firehouse red color for the ladybug wings. That's what we're going to paint next. I'm working on the ladybug door hanger. Alrighty. Whoops. So the name fits so well. Yeah, I've never seen that cartoon, I don't think, but that does sound like a fitting name. They're kind of mischievous. Yes, welcome to everybody that's new. So if this is your first time watching, well, I'm Nicole, and this is A-Frayed-Knot, and everybody here is super, super nice and warm and friendly, so settle in. And this is our monthly kit for April. And I'm using the A-Frayed-Knot chalk paint. So I have a chalk paint line, and that is what I paint with. And this is the color Firehouse. Alrighty. Oh, thank you, Penny. Whimsy Wreath Design Co. Happy Friday, and thank you, and welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping in and giving a follow. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I kind of explained a little bit. I go live during the weekdays and do live crafting with you guys, and yeah, we just chat and have a good time. And it's usually at 5 o'clock Pacific time because I'm on the West Coast. So we go live at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And I have a woodworking group where I teach women how to cut out their own DIY home decor. I have a humongous pattern library full of all kinds of good projects, like that bunny door hanger you see back there. Actually, both of those bunnies right there. Actually, all of those bunnies right there we made in the woodworking group. That just dawned on me. It's all the bunnies right there. All right, we're going to have to dry all of this stuff so we can continue on with what we've got to do. So let's get it dried. Angie, that's what I said when I first hopped on. I know it looks like Pac-Man, but it is her wings. Doesn't that look like Pac-Man? I love that. It does totally look like Pac-Man. Oh, Brenda said, Brenda, what part of California are you in? Aw, thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you've seen that and you loved it. I've been trying to do a few things throughout Holy Week, and I will do one on Sunday. I did this one last year on Sunday, but I'm going to do it again because it's just, to me, it's so powerful. So when we were in Groom, Texas, and we visited that site right there that has like all of the different stations of Jesus's journey to the cross, and then on the other side of that, there is like an empty tomb. They have it, you know, there's like an angel on the top, and there's a big stone, and it's rolled away, and there's an angel inside, and the tomb is empty. But I did a video of that, so I'm going to post that on Sunday. And I've written a couple of devotions, I think yesterday, lost track of the days of the week. Yesterday, today, and I'm going to do one tomorrow also. Okay. Alrighty, we're all dry, so we're going to sand it now, and I think I'm gonna switch my paper out here and use this one. Okay, we're gonna start with the white part first. I just want it to be distressed looking, that's all. So what I'm doing is sanding it so that it'll bring out some of that grains of wood. Oh, in San Jose. Oh, Central Valley, I missed it. But, oh, by Bakersfield in a town called Porterville. I've heard of that before. I've heard of Porterville, Central Valley. That's awesome. Yes, I will definitely be. And hopefully hopefully Facebook will show it to you, because it sounds like you've been able to see the other ones. If you guys don't get to see these, you can actually search A-Frayed-Knot and go to the page, like go actually to my page, and then you can see the things that we're talking about. Okay, I want to show you what I've done so far. So you see how I've just kind of distressed, so you can see some of those grains of wood coming through. That's what I'm going for. So you can kind of see how it's come through down there also. And then I'm going to use a different piece of sandpaper because I don't want that white to transfer onto our black here. But I am sanding this as well. Because I want some of the grain to come through, and I just want to dull it down. Okay, let's wipe it all off, get all the dust off. So you can kind of see what that looks like. It's just scratched up, which I like. I think it looks good. Set it right there. I really need to replace my paper here. It's kind of seen better days. Okay. We'll sand that also. Actually, let's just go ahead and sand. I'm only going to sand the edges on this. And then the majority of the wings cover, but down here will be exposed, so we'll sand down there. Okay, that looks good. And then we'll also sand the just the edges on the wings. Okay, so you can kind of see. I just sanded the edges. So what we're going to do next is go ahead and put the polka dots on. So we are just going to use the small sponge and the medium sponge. Let's see, might need some. Sometimes the sponges soak up quite a bit of paint, so just want to make sure I have enough. This one is empty. All right, we're going to get started. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the bigger sponge first. so I just got a good amount on the bottom of the sponge. So the nice thing about these, you can go back over it. You just kind of line it back up and you can go right back over it. And then I'm going to fill that in with with some of the smaller, that smaller sponge, circle sponge. Thank you, Agatha. No, I didn't see it, Laura. I'll have to go look. All I've got is this right here. I haven't even seen the new one yet. Okay. We're going to do 2 more big ones over here. So we're going to do one right here. This is just bright and cheery and it's just fun. Just kind of makes you smile, you know? And then we're going to do one right here. Just like that. And we'll leave that out just in case we decide we might need another. Thought that was going to fall. Okay. Now we're just going to take our small one. I feel like I got to sneeze. I kind of messed this one up, but that's not too bad. I thought I messed that one up, but it didn't turn out too bad. Gonna have to get more paint. Okay. That's not too bad. I like the way that turned out. So we're going to just leave that and we'll let that go ahead and start to dry while we focus back onto our surface again. And then what we're going to do, making sure that my glue gun is on, is we're going to take our high and we need to transfer it on to our surface. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I like it right here, I think. You can kind of lay your ladybug to see, she's gonna go right about here anyway, so this is actually perfect. So I'm leaving just maybe like 1/4 of an inch right there. And then the ladybug will kind of just take up this whole space right here. So this is just like a transfer paper, carbon paper. I'm just going to slide it under here like this. They make a white one. I just don't have a white one. And when you're working with like a darker color like this, it's easier to have the white one, but I don't have it. So we're just going to make do with this. And if I press hard enough, I'll be able to see it. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, I can see that. That'll be perfectly fine. So, I'm just using this is going to be like my template, and then I'm going to come inside of and paint the letters. Basically is all we're going to do. If you have like a paint pen or something like, oops, I got to stop right there because I have to move the paper. I kept going. I forgot the paper's doesn't cover the whole thing. So, all right, let me shift the paper around. There we go. Now we can finish. Yeah, if you have a paint pen, I don't have one of those paint pens yet. I've got a couple. I'm just not, they don't work real well for me. I always get jammed up. So I end up just using like the paintbrush. Make sure I can see everything okay before I lift it off. And I can. I'm going to do my best to show you guys what it looks like, but I'm not sure you'll be able to. Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah, you can see that in the camera pretty good, I think. So that's what we're going to paint in with the color cotton. We're going to paint inside of those lines. If you look real close, you can see them. And we're going to paint them in the color cotton. Probably said that like 4 times, but we're going to paint them the color cotton. Oh my goodness, you do. That'll be perfect, Barb. How cool. Yes, that'll be great. That is perfect. I'm looking for my smaller. I know I have a smaller one. Here's one right here. I'm gonna try this one first. Okay. And then all I do is just start following it around. I'll just kind of start with the top part here. And I'm just following it around. So let me get a little bit of the letter kind of defined out so you can see it. Okay, so you can kind of see it starting to take shape a little bit. Okay. Sometimes it's helpful too, like if you leave it kind of right here so you can see the shape of it a little bit. I feel like down here, it didn't transfer quite as good down here, so it's a little harder for me to see. Okay, so I just kind of filled that in how I sort of think that looks, because I didn't press hard enough, I think, so I don't really see that part real well, but that's okay. It's just the bottom part of the H. And then this is going to come to here. And then that goes in just like that. And then we're just going to kind of fill this part in. So we've got half of the H. And we're only painting HI, so that's nice. It won't take real long. We're not painting out Thankful or anything like that. Oh, it looks like, what did I do here? Looks like I smeared it a little bit. Okay, so you can kind of see it taking shape. Oh man, let me see if I can plug this in. It's my iPad where I'm seeing all the comments is. It doesn't stay charged as long as it used to. Oops. Okay. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so all I'm doing is just following the lines. I know it's probably hard for you to see them, but you can kind of see it taking shape. And then if you need to add more paint, you can just come along and add it. Okay, so we've almost got the H complete. And now we're going into the I. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to do this top part right here. I messed that up. Okay, so it's taken shape. What we're going to do is this top part of the eye, the little dot. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go back and add paint where I think it needs to have a little bit more. Okay. I know it's backwards, but that's what I've got so far. Oh, thank you, Lee. So the cool thing about if you get this kit is you'll have this and you can use it for all kinds of different things. I just think I like hi or hello. On this one, hi was really cute. Just like simple little signs. I think they're so cute. And then you'll have the template so you can make just simple littler signs. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Let me wash this off. Let's see if I have a smaller brush. I might just use this one. We're going to want to make some, just like some accents, and we're going to do it in the midnight color and in cotton. So let's get these both dried a little bit. Thank you, Agatha. Thanks, Teresa. Okay, so she's dried pretty good. What we're going to do is take our ladybug body. Actually, I'll wipe it off with my apron. Sometimes with the black paint and the paper towel, it just makes it look real linty. So what we're going to do is her body is going to go on here like this. Just like that. So what I want to do is just come in. I really wish I had a thinner one. Okay, that's not going to work. We're going to have to make this work. This one should be okay. So we're just going to take a little bit of the cotton color paint. Now this isn't glued down yet, but we're just going to come in and okay. right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of come down. Now that should, yeah, that works. That works. So it just gives it like a little bit of an accent inside, just a little. And then we're going to just put a little bit of, just some little accents on the circles inside. So I'm just coming in with like little white, I don't even want to call it a half circle. It's just a line. I'm just doing like a little line following the shape of the black circle that we have in here. Okay, so you can kind of see those. This one is a little lighter than I wanted it to be. All right. Just gonna rinse that off, and we're going to do just some little accents around the edges here with the cotton color also. Hi, Mary. Happy Good Friday. Oh, you're cutting out your box. Awesome. And the bunny from the woodworking group. I love that. Thank you, Deborah. Thanks, Agatha. Thank you. Okay. Then we're just going to kind of come in here and just put a few little like squiggly lines. And then when I start to run out of paint, I'll just load a little bit more up. Just like that, just around the edges. And then we're going to do the same thing on this black part, and then on the white part, we're going to add some just little accents in the midnight color. I keep wanting to say Crazy Crow, but it's midnight. Okay, so all we're going to do is just come here, right across the top, and we're just going to do like a squiggly line, just like that. And then another one, and then another one. And then maybe just a little bit down the side. The ladybug is going to cover the majority of that right there. Oops. So just some little accents, and then I'm going to wash this same brush off. And then put the, a little bit of the midnight down here at the bottom and then up at the top as well. So you see how I did that? Just a little squiggly. And then the same thing up at the top. I'm just doing it real light-handed, and it's just a very small round brush. This is actually one of the refab brushes. If you have those paint brushes, it's one of the smaller round ones. It's probably the smallest one. I like to use it for these kind of lines. just very faint. Okay, and then we have just a couple more little accents that we're gonna do. I should have done it while we were doing the cotton color, but that's okay. We can still go back and do it. Okay, and then all I'm gonna do is just come in with this, and I'm just gonna go around certain parts of the word high and just sort of try to accent a little bit by just doing a line and following around it. So you see how I just followed around that part of it right there? I kind of liked that just to give it like a little pop. And then we'll do it right here. Right there on the side. And then I'm going to do it right here on this top part. Trying to figure out the best way to go at it because I don't want to smear what I've already done. So you see how I did this part right here? I got a little squirrely right there. My hand got a little like, boop, boop, and then I just kept going. And then we'll do on this top part right here. Okay. And there's that. I like that. So we're going to leave it just like that. Oh, see what I mean? This is exactly what I'm telling you. I pulled it right off because I'm trying to dry it and I pulled it too hard. That's not too bad though. When I don't like what I do is when I pull too hard on the bristles and I pull them right out. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thanks, Patty. Oh, the neighbors came to see what you were doing. Oh, it's nice weather to open up the garage. Good. No, I didn't put really too many dots between the squiggles today, not on the round. I did on the ladybug down here in the corners. It's just all in, you know, it's just all in what you want to do. Sometimes I do like adding the dots, but today I didn't add them. All right, so let's see where we are at. What we need to do is take our daisies. Oh, you know what I didn't do? That's okay. This will go real quick. What we need to do is, these would look cute not painted also. If you wanted to just leave them in the natural, they would be cute like that also. But if you got this kit with the paint, you've got the color Sunflower for these. We had, when I hopped on here live, we had 4 of these left. I don't know how many are there now, but if you wanted to get them, there were a few. You know, when last time I went to Dollar Tree, I'm just going to use this. They did not have any of those makeup sponge things. I made a point to look for them, but they didn't have any. I was bummed because it is easier to paint those, like these little pieces with those sponges. I meant to paint these earlier and I just forgot. All you want to do is just get a coat of paint on them. And then we could dry them real quick. We're going to put these on the daisies. On these little pieces right here. Oh, yay, Tina. Thank you, Kelly. Lee, that very well could be. I'm trying to get better at that, but no, I'm sure that's exactly it. Because I mean, these are wood and you know, it shouldn't stay in the water. And not only that, but with your brushes, when they're drying, you should lay them flat, because if you lay them like this, the water and the moisture comes back down into here. So you should lay them flat when you're drying them. And for a long time, I was really bad at that. I would just wash them and stick them right back in the jar. Because they're in the jar like this, but if they're still wet, all that water is going back down into this. Okay. All right, we're almost there. Almost there. And then we're going to put her together. Oh, I missed a whole, all right, hold on you guys. I missed a whole spot over here. Okay, let's dry them. Oh, that's awesome, Kelly. So they can hang bristles down. That's perfect. Tina, I think I will be doing that one on Monday. I think we're going to do that one Monday. Alrighty. That didn't take long to dry at all. So let's glue them right onto the center, just like this. Oh no. All right, you guys, hold 1 second because I don't have no glue stick. So excuse me for 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, I have some. I just forgot to restock my little thing over here. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of smush it down in here. There we go. Smush that down. Oh, awesome. Good, good. Oh, Mary, yay. I'm glad you got them. Oh, this is what happens when I have, you see, I got the little bit of, I'll just cover that up. I have paint on my hand, so it transferred it on there. Well, that's dried out. Goodness, goodness, goodness. I'm gonna go ahead and get it wiped off, you guys, just because I don't want to transfer it onto the ladybug or anything like that. Okay. So we're going to do the next one. So one of the daisies, I did mention this earlier, one is a little bigger than the other. Just slightly. I did that on purpose. Thank you, Tabitha. Okay. And then we're going to put her together. Well, we're going to put her wings on. So her wings do hang over just a little bit, just so you know. They do hang over a little. And I'm going to stand up and secure this on. And then I'm just going to add, you know, just hold it down for a little bit with a little bit of pressure. Well, I didn't do a very good job. It's uneven, but you're not really, well, oh well, she'll be fine. You can't really tell except for the gap is a little bigger here than over there. I guess I should have paid better attention. And I stood up trying to purposely, you know, not mess it up, but that's all right. So next what we're going to do is take our wires. Got 2 wires inside of your packet, and that is for her antennas. So what I want to do is, I just want to kind of fit them in to get an idea. Ah, I see what I did. I kept this one for myself because I'm like, where's the wire going? It's coming out here. The ones we sent out, you don't have to worry about that. So I wasn't paying attention when I was drilling them, and my drill came out the back. So, I'm going to put the hot glue in there, and mine is only going to go to about right there. What in the world? That was funny. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this top part right here and bend it over, just like that. And then bend it again. So I'm just kind of rolling it onto itself. Let's see how far down I want it to go. I'm going to definitely have to put hot glue in here. I'm going to go one more time. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to put hot glue in mine to hold it so you can kind of see her antenna. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side right here. So that'll kind of give us a guide to how long the stem is going to be. What I was going to tell you, when you put yours in the hole, yours is not going to come out the back, but you're going to go down until it stops. And then that's going to give you an idea how much is going to go inside of the hole. You see how I've got that much right there? And then I can start here at the top, and I just roll it down. And it kind of looks like a candy cane. And I'm using my thumb sort of as a guide. And then once my thumb pinches right there, then I just keep rolling it right onto itself. See how I did that? And then I just keep on rolling. I'm just rolling it right into itself. And then that seems pretty good. We're going to leave it just like that. And then I want to put them in opposites. Just so when they go in, I want one facing out one way and one facing out the other way. Put a little glob of glue on the end of it also. So we're going to let that kind of set up before I mess with bending the wires out or anything like that. Okay, so I'm just going to let that hot glue set up, and then I can kind of bend these out a little bit more. I think that'll be cute. So we're going to set those right there. While that's setting up, what we can work on is putting our little hanger in there, and then we're going to glue the daisy and the ladybug down. But I want to give that hot glue a second to set up. So what we're going to do is work the rope through our little hole, okay? A lot of times I'll twist it. You can just kind of twist it. If the rope seems too thick and it's not going to go through, you can take one of the strands out. I don't want to, I'm going to put it through and then I'll show you how. I don't want to unravel it and then not be able to get it through here. Might be too late. No, it's going through. So if I twist it, there we go. There we go. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean, because I just want a little peep of this. But if it seems too thick and it's not able to go through, you can take one of these strands and then just I thought I silenced mine. Hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, I guess I didn't do that. I thought I did. Okay. So what we want is for our hanger right here. Let's see. It doesn't have to be really, really long. You just want a peep of the rope to come up, and that's going to be your hanger. And then you're going to want to take this. I'm going to pull a little bit more of it out just so I can get a knot going. And we're going to knot it. I'm just tightening the knot up, that's all. And then we got the little knot right there. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. It's easier to kind of pull it almost all the way through, just so you have a little leverage here for making the knot. I'll probably cut those off when I get this tied. They were the frayed ends and they didn't want to go through, so I'm just going to cut them off. Perfect. And then we have just a little peep of the hanger. I think that's really cute. I like that. Okay. And then we're going to put, let's see if she's good to go. Oh yeah, she's good. And then we can kind of bend these out. And then you can see her little antennas. And she's going to go on here like so. And then one of the daisies can go down here like this. And what I did with the daisies is I did not glue like the whole flower down. I only put glue like in the center part here so that I can kind of bring the petals up a little bit. And I think I like her right here. And got like a daisy right there. And one of the daisies right there. Okay, so what I did was I just glued like right in the center part here. Just like that. And then once that secures itself down, then I kind of pull the petals just so they sort of come up a little bit. So just some glue right in here. And then you see how I can kind of just bend them up a little. And then we're gonna put her right about here. I think she looks good right about there. Okay, so okay, and then I'm just gonna hold her down a little bit. Aw, thank you, everybody. Good, I'm glad you like her. She's adorable. I'm gonna see if I can get a few nails in here. Okay, that should be okay. So I'm just gonna flip her over. There we go. I just want to kind of hold her in a little bit better from the back there. And then there we have it. She's super fun and cute. I hope you guys like her. Like I said before I hopped on here, there were 4 left. So she's fun. I hope you guys like her. If you got her at the beginning of the month when she first came available, those shipped out earlier this week. So if you haven't got yours yet, it is on its way. We will be making sure this video gets at the beginning of the week into the private group so that it's easier to find the Crafting with Friends private group. So you guys can find it a lot easier over there. And if this is your first time getting a kit with us, then that paperwork comes in the packet with your kit so you can get into that group. The video's here on the page also. It's just easier to find in the private group. So there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Usually the monthly kits take a little bit longer to make, so thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I hope you had a great Good Friday. Happy Easter to everybody. I'll be with the woodworkers tomorrow, but I won't see you guys again until Monday unless you're joining me in the woodworking group tomorrow. So, thank you, Teresa. This was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody, and crafting. Thanks, Barb. Thank you, Erin. Thanks, Agatha and Becky. Thank you, Brenda. You too. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Happy Easter, and let's just remember what it's all about. I'm just super thankful for everything Christ did for us and for you guys. Thank you. Thank you for everything and for being here with me. So happy Easter, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.